Welcome back to the Data Crunch podcast. I'm Vadym, Growth Marketing Manager here at Ovox, and today we're diving into a topic that's essential for making good decisions fast: data freshness. It's all about how quickly data goes from being collected to being ready to use. And with me here is our head of marketing, Ievgen, to help us break it all down. How are you today, Ievgen?
Hey Vadym, I'm doing great, as always. And yep, data freshness is one of the key pieces that makes all the difference between being responsive and playing catch up. But also it's about costs. So I'm really excited to talk about it today.
Exactly. I think a lot of companies are used to just having data, but today it's all about making that data usable in real time, or at least close to it. So Ievgen, maybe start us off with the basics. Why is data freshness so important in business decision making?
Well, it's pretty simple. The fresher the data is, the more it reflects what's happening right now. For example, let's say you are in e-commerce and running a flash sale. If you can see which product are selling quickly, you can adjust your promotions or stock levels in real time. Without fresh data, you might miss those quick reactions and lose on sales. But again, there is another side of things. We can refresh all reports every minute, but that would cost us a lot.
So, as I understand, it's all about being able to respond in a moment. Now, what about different levels of freshness? Not all data can be real time. Not all reports has to be real time, right?
Exactly. Data freshness can mean different things in different scenarios depending on your need. So there is one, it's real-time reports, where data updates instantly, like in stock trading, for example. Second, it's near real-time, which updates every few minutes or sometimes up to an hour, and it's useful for customer interactions during promo campaigns like the upcoming Black Friday. And finally, the data can be updated in batches. This is where data is updated like once a day or even once a week, which is often enough for strategic or operational planning, reports to C-level, board meetings. So data freshness is not about being the more fresh ever. It's about picking the level that fits your specific decision-making needs.
That makes sense. Now, I know you mentioned e-commerce, but are there other key applications where real-time data is really valuable?
Yeah, so let's talk about a few practical scenarios, like marketing campaigns. If marketers can see data in real time, they can adjust campaigns while they are running. So I want to analyze the campaign that's running today. I don't want to wait till next Monday. Or customer support, for example. Because with up-to-date data, support teams can see recent interactions and take actions faster. Or inventory management. Fresh data helps companies track stock levels in real time, avoiding overstocking or shortages. And fraud detection. Banks, payment systems, they really rely on the fresh data to catch suspicious activity immediately. In each case, fresh data helps businesses act quickly and stay proactive.
Got it. And that brings us to the question we hear a lot. What metrics should businesses use to measure data freshness? Are there key metrics to keep in mind?
Yeah, here are the 7 metrics I can think about that businesses can use to evaluate data freshness. And number 1 is latency. It's about how fast the data moves from the source to the destination, to the report. So the second metric is availability. So making sure the fresh data is ready when you need it. The third one is completeness. It's more or less related to data quality, not freshness, but they always go together. So this is about having no gaps in your data, so it's reliable to make decisions. Metric number 4 is consistency. The data should be the same across all of the systems, all of the reports. Metric number 5, I would say it's accuracy, because the fresh data is only helpful if it's correct. Metric number 6 would be about timeliness. Are you getting the data in the right moment you really need them? And then it's the frequency of the updates. How often data or a specific report is being refreshed. So these metrics help you check how fresh and reliable your data is, and is it aligned with your expectations.
That's a really great breakdown, Ievgen. Now let's talk about the challenges. What makes it difficult for businesses to keep their data fresh?
I would say there are a few big hurdles here. So the first one is data silos. When data is scattered, When it's inconsistent across different platforms, it's hard to consolidate it quickly, because you always need to make sure that all of the data for the specific report is already available. If the joining would be done correctly, if you're missing a part, if there is anything missing, if you are collecting the data from 5 or 7 data sources just to consolidate in one report. So let me give you a real-life example. So website analytics data is now typically available in nearly real time. Whether a business is using GA4 BigQuery Streaming Export or our accurate tracking with AWOX, it's available very quickly, like seconds to minutes. But when it comes to the information from advertising platforms, that's typically available just at midnight. And it's available at 12 a.m. of the specific ad account. So different ad accounts in different regions, different currencies, might have the different time zones. And then some internal data large enterprises can't load that all in the same day. They cannot do it quickly. And there is a 1 day or so delay before the data about the actual transactions, about the money paid, the information about sales really becomes available for being used in reports.
Okay, I see that data silos is one of those hurdles. So what are the best practices to handle such situations?
So we at AWOX, for example, and that's what we recommend to our clients, is that we run all of the transformations as a waterfall the next morning, like at 7 a.m. It's very close to starting of the next working day. But then there are still the resource limits, because real-time updates are possible, but it just takes so much infrastructure and sometimes staff. I haven't seen the companies yet who are growing their revenue as fast as the amount of data they process, they collect every single day. So this can really slow things down if not managed well.
Right. So it's all about balancing the speed you need with the resources you have. Okay, and what can businesses do to overcome these challenges?
I can think about a couple of the practical things to take. So step number 1 is to consolidate all of your data in one place, like a data warehouse, like Google BigQuery, for example, or Snowflake. Then it's about automating the data collection. You don't want to extract CSV files from the platform and then load them to the data warehouse yourself. That leads to a lot of confusion and mistakes. So automation actually reduces the delays and keeps your data flowing correctly. If you're watching us on YouTube, we'll probably add a little tooltip here at the top, and we'll add a video on data collection in the description. It's a step-by-step guide through the process with all of the possible ways to do this, like in data warehouses, in classic databases, in spreadsheets, whatever you want based on the types of data. How should you manage this?
Thank you for sharing this guide with our audience, Ievgen. So for the first 2 steps are consolidate all the data, and the second is to automate data collection. So what is the next step after that?
Yeah, it's not enough to collect the data, because they are not going right away to the report. The next thing we need to automate as well is the data preparation. So step 3 is all about putting all of the data transformations on a schedule, either dependency triggers like a waterfall or just on a specific schedule. So create those tables more suitable for reporting purposes than the raw data itself. You don't want every report to run through all of the data you have available across your systems. And just once again, that's just very expensive. So the next step, and probably that's going to be the final one, is to set report update schedule, because it's all linked together. You collect the data on the specific time, you run those transformations, but then you need to deliver those data from the data warehouse to the reporting system, whether it's spreadsheets, Looker Studio, Power BI, whatever it is. So you don't need every report to be updated every hour or every minute, as well as not every data point is equally important. So just check out which reports you need to be delivered weekly. Maybe it's like 4 p.m. every Thursday for a team meeting. But once again, you need to make sure that the data used in the report is already available at the moment you are sending the data to a dashboard. Then you have to check which reports should be daily, let's say at 7 a.m. every day, or which specific reports should be updated in real time or close to it. And you have no other choice than to minimize the number of data sources you are using in those reports that are updated nearly in real time. The cost or the time to decision. That's it.
All right, so we consolidated data, then we automated data, and then we scheduled our transformations, and finally we set the schedule for report updates. Is there anything else we need to do?
Well, probably yes. That's not going to be a step you need to take, but that's rather a thing you need to keep in mind. So it's about building a reliable and scalable data infrastructure. Just make sure that your systems can handle the growing data needs. You will collect more and more data every day, just trust me. And you need to be ready for this.
That is super helpful, Ievgen. And let's touch quickly on costs. Are there trade-offs to having fresher data?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned, it's expensive. So real-time data can really cost you a lot, both in terms of tech and resources. So it's important to ask, is the cost worth the benefit? Sometimes schedule updates are enough, depending on your goals. You don't have to go across the board in real time. You just need to fit the decision making to the report schedule, or the other way around. Plus, the data culture within each organization is different, so the reporting schedule should just fit the data culture and the decision making processes within your organization.
Good point. It's all about picking your battles. So, where is data freshness headed? Are there any trends shaping its future?
Sure. Well, we're seeing a lot of this server-side tracking right now, so businesses are going there. It typically comes with some kind of data streaming. So web analytics data is now more or less available in nearly real time for most businesses. But then it's another catch again, as event-based GA4 tracking is not easily blendable with other data sources. But that's probably a topic for another episode, so I don't want to bother you guys with this today. So I see this trend of going server-side. Most of our clients are heading there quickly. Then we're seeing more predictive analytics. So businesses using their data to not only react to what's already happened, but anticipate. And then the modern tools. And I'm not talking here about just AI or without AI. I'm talking about just the modern data stack, which really helps to access data faster. So these trends will make data freshness easier, more manageable, and more powerful.
That's really exciting stuff. Thanks, Ievgen, for sharing so much useful information. Any final tips for our listeners?
Yeah, guys, just remember, data freshness is all about matching data speed to your business needs. That's it. So focus on quality as much as speed, and take it one step at a time.
Great advice. Thanks again, Ievgen. And for all our listeners, if you want to take your insights to the next level, check out the OXBI Marketing Analytics Suite, linked below this episode. Our platform can help you keep your data as fresh as you need and ready for action. You can schedule processes for automatic updates and get access to accurate data at any time of the day, whether it's tracking market trends, monitoring customer behavior, or optimizing operations. OXBI provides the tools needed to keep data fresh and relevant. You can start your free trial at ox.com. And if you have any questions, reach out to our wonderful team to get help. Don't forget to subscribe to the Data Crunch podcast for more insights.
Thanks, Vadym, and thanks to everyone listening. So keep exploring new possibilities with your data, and see you in the next episodes.